From virtual workspaces to Gucci-themed game items, it's another week down in the Metaverse, which means we have another week's worth of content to talk about. So stick around while we talk about everything going on this week in the Metaverse. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Bull Combo. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be going over everything going on this week in the Metaverse, the world of virtual land. Before we get started, if you guys like the kind of content you're seeing here, if you like virtual land, if you like Metaverse style news, if you're into some of the more recent NFT and blockchain based games that are coming out, I definitely recommend subscribing to the channel, guys. I was looking at my analytics recently, and it looks like over half of the people that watch this video aren't actually subscribed, which is quite a few considering this usually gets like 400 or 500 views. So if half you guys aren't subscribed, that means that a lot of you guys find value in it, but you haven't decided to subscribe to the channel yet for some reason or another. And I definitely encourage you guys to do that because this is a lot of the content I post here. If you find value in this, you probably find value in some of the other videos I post. Plus, it really just goes a long way to supporting the channel and supporting me as a content creator. So if you want to do that, if you want to support the channel, definitely recommend subscribing and hanging out to see the new content I post. All right, guys, it's been 1 week since the NFT giveaway announcement, and that means we are announcing the winners. And without any further delay, give a huge shout out and a big congratulations to today's winners, Piehead and Jeff Burney. Congratulations to both of you. You both won an NFT, so feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord, and we'll handle getting that NFT transferred over to you. Now that the winners are announced, that means we have another week's worth of giveaways to run. Entry details are going to be the same this week. You have to be subscribed to the channel, you have to like the video, and then you have to comment down below. If you can do those three things, you'll be entered into the giveaway. Next week, I'll be selecting one winner, maybe two winners, maybe three winners, who knows, however many I feel like. We're going to be upping the ante a little bit and bringing you guys more things. We're going to be giving away more than just these NFTs. I just have a lot of these, and I know a lot of people don't own NFTs, and it's something that's unfamiliar to them. So I felt like it was a really cool way to give back to you guys while also introducing some of you guys to a new technology or a new piece of technology that you might not have been familiar with before. So it's kind of a win-win situation. But again, in the future, we're going to be giving away some more elaborate things here, some land, some physical real-world items, etc. So make sure to stick around for that. And as we get closer to 5K subs, you'll be seeing me announce some of those giveaways. All right, guys, so let's jump right into everything going on this week in the world of the Metaverse. So we had a new announcement from the Earth2 team yesterday. They led off the announcement by talking about some server downtime that was going to occur today. Now, that downtime did already occur. It occurred at 8 a.m. Universal Time, which was, for me, 4 o'clock this morning. So this occurred while I was sleeping. But the downtime was basically done to provide some back-end updates and some architectural updates that are going to be paving the way for Phase 2 and just some overall improvements. It looks like they improved the back-end withdrawal system. They've added a confirmation for whether or not credit card withdrawals are successful. And they also mentioned that Essence and or Jewels are going to be released at the very end of June or very early in July. It looks like this is going to be the beginning of Phase 2 functionality that we're going to see. They also made an announcement that Earth2 is in the midst of blockchain migration, where they're going to be rolling out on-chain assets. Now, after this update, I did notice that Easter eggs are now showing next to certain people's names on the leaderboard. If you go to those individuals, it does show the Easter egg as an award on their profile. And I'm wondering if this is the start of some of those on-chain items or on-chain assets that the team was referring to. Nevertheless, we're going to have to keep an eye on this. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of things moving here over the next couple weeks. So obviously, I'll be bringing you guys updates on those things as we get them. But for now, it's really just exciting to see some progress being made and to see a new announcement from the Earth2 team for them to let us know that they're still there and that they are still working on Phase 2 and that we might see it a little sooner than we were expecting. The Sandbox CEO was recently on a Boson Protocol interview that you can check out on YouTube. Now, Boson Protocol might sound familiar, and that's because I talked about them last week, and they're the same group that spent $700,000 in Decentraland with the intent of building a virtual mall. They took the time to sit down and speak with the CEO of the Sandbox, and while the video is rather brief, only about 7 or 8 minutes long, I do think there's a lot of really interesting information that's expressed there, specifically surrounding the potential of NFTs and how the Sandbox is utilizing them to really bring a very groundbreaking and innovative gaming experience. So I definitely recommend checking that out, guys. The Sandbox also announced new staking awards for anyone that is currently staking as of June 30th of this month. For those of you that aren't aware, on top of the Sandbox being a platform where you can build games where everything revolves around NFTs, they also have a cryptocurrency called Sand. That's the currency that all transactions and events inside the Sandbox game are going to revolve around, whether it be an NFT purchase or a land purchase or purchasing something within a game experience, it all goes back to the sand token. But something they offer is the ability to stake those. Basically, by staking your coins, you're kind of removing them from being directly accessible. But as a reward for staking those, you're given back currency as basically interest for allowing your cryptocurrency to sit there and be held as part of liquidity rather than being in the free market where you can spend it as you'd like. So there's some strong rewards right now going for people that decide to stake their sand. Staking is something that's offered on a lot of different platforms, and the returns that you're going to get really vary based on the platforms, the currency, the staking model, etc. But the sandbox seems to be on the higher end of that level when it comes to rewards you get for staking your coins. So it's really cool to see that they're continuing to offer rewards like this. They've offered not only monetary kickbacks from the staking itself, but they also offer in-game assets as rewards, exclusive NFTs, exclusive avatars, things that allow you to build out your game experience, but will also possibly be very valuable down the road once the marketplace opens and once multiplayer opens for the sandbox experience. VV. So NFT and digital collectible heavyweights VV had their Superman and Slimer release go down this week, and as has been the case recently, both sold out within a matter of seconds. Now, in all fairness, both of these releases were very limited, and I believe a little more limited than some of the normal drops we see. The Superman drop and the Slimer drop were only one item apiece, so it explains why they sold out so fast, although previous releases and previous drops have been selling out just as fast, guys. So while it looks like the NFT market has cooled down a bit, and NFTs as a whole have cooled down a bit from their ridiculous value that they were pulling a month or two back, it's still very encouraging to see that VV drops are selling out every week that they drop. There's a ton of interest still, and I really do see VV continuing to buck the trend, basically, when it comes to the cooldown surrounding the NFT world. So VV very well might be onto something here, guys, and I think it's going to be extremely interesting to watch them and watch them progress over the next year or two and see where the platform goes, what level of interest remains, and just what kind of things they can bring to the platform itself. NVIDIA. In a recent interview with VentureBeat, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang went on to talk about how he thinks we're on the cusp of entering a blockchain-based or crypto-based metaverse. He even went as far as to say he thinks that it's already here at a very crude or rudimentary level. It sounds like Huang specifically envisions AR being the medium that's utilized most or most accessible for the metaverse, going on to say you'll have our glasses on or your phone and you can see what's sitting right there, perfectly lit, and it all belongs to you. We'll see this overlay, a metaverse overlay if you will, into our physical world. So coincidentally, I've actually released 2 videos talking about these topics exactly. One, that I do believe the metaverse is closer than many of us think, and that it is already there in many aspects. And 2, that I really think AR is going to be the catalyst and the main medium for which we access the metaverse, and not VR as so many people have kind of been pushing recently. And while VR has its place, again, I do really think AR will be the accessibility that we need to make a metaverse truly all-encompassing. And it's just really interesting to see the CEO of NVIDIA making statements that basically align with that. I think that companies like this are very forward-thinking, and I think they have to look at the larger picture and look at things and ideas that we might not even be aware of. Because when companies are making their decisions, they're making that based off of things that they're aware of, other companies working on, that the general consumer probably doesn't know. So just remember that the CEO of NVIDIA is saying things like this. One, that probably means they're working on a lot of augmented reality technology right now. But 2, it's just very encouraging to see that the metaverse has progressed to this point where the CEO of NVIDIA is basically saying, we're already there, and if we're not already there, we're going to make sure we get there. So 60 Minutes released a segment this week focusing specifically on NFTs and the metaverse. And while it was a very basic explanation of NFTs and what the metaverse is and some of the larger grand scheme potential or possibilities of it, I do really think it's a great watch. I think it's very encouraging to see mainstream media and mainstream media platforms and programs covering NFTs and the metaverse and bringing that onto the radar of the general public, people that aren't really involved in these conversations, aren't seeking out virtual land, NFTs, metaverse style news, aren't seeking out that new technology openly. And for a lot of those people, it's inviting that information into their home. It's that first exposure, first experience that they have to the world of NFTs and the world of the metaverse. So that's a big deal, guys. I don't think it can be overstated how big of a deal it is to have 60 Minutes talk about NFTs and the metaverse, because usually they only take the time to focus on things that are either a big deal at the time or have the chance to be a big deal long term. And again, just another piece of really cool media this week when it comes to the metaverse that just shows the reach that the metaverse has already made and it already has. Roblox. Roblox recently announced a partnership with Gucci to bring in-game items and assets to their Roblox Metaverse. This is basically the equivalent of what the Sandbox and some other platforms are doing, where they're partnering with brands that don't necessarily have any relation to their specific product, and they're bringing in branded items into their world or into their metaverse. And I think this Gucci partnership is just the most recent example of that. Now, I don't know if we're going to be seeing any Roblox-themed Gucci items in the real world, but nevertheless, it was really cool to see Gucci-themed items inside of Roblox, and it just shows that there is a draw and there is a demand for themed items like that. And while Roblox doesn't utilize blockchain or NFTs to store their assets or identify their assets, it's just encouraging to see them taking this route. And you can guarantee that other platforms that do utilize NFTs and do utilize blockchain are absolutely taking this same route. Just look at the Sandbox, for example, and their recent in-game items related to My Neighbor Alice. That's just a perfect example of how brands are reaching across the table here right now to make these partnerships and bring their brands into alternate realities, alternate worlds, and alternate metaverses. So Roblox and Gucci are just another in the long list of partnerships currently driving the metaverse experiences. All right, guys, and the last thing I wanted to cover today was an announcement by VirtualWorks. They just announced VirtualWorks Immerse and VirtualWorks Connect, two programs designed to create virtual workspace experiences. VirtualWorks Immerse is designed to create a virtual workplace where users can move around in a virtual reality world, create an avatar, and have collaborative and personal experiences with other coworkers. While VirtualWorks Connect provides the ability for people with less than stellar internet connection or less than stellar mobile connection to still take advantage of that experience by providing a slimmed down Zoom-style meeting experience that still allows people to engage with others currently in the VirtualWorks metaverse. I think this is a really cool concept, guys. Virtual work is something that I haven't talked about as much on the channel, but is obviously a huge portion of what we could see when it comes to AR, VR, and metaverses in general. Are virtual workspaces, places where people from all over the globe can get together and be in the same room and collaborate. And sometimes just having that level of presence can lead to increased productivity, increased work efficiency, and just overall better team development and team functioning. So I think it's really cool to see VirtualWorks working on this, and I'm curious to see what other types of virtual work environments we see announced in the near future. And that was all I had for this week, guys. As always, there's a lot going on in the metaverse, so I'm trying to bring you guys as much information as I can. Let me know if you guys had any thoughts on any of the topics I covered here today, if you found anything interesting, or if you had any additional information on anything here that you want to share with everybody else. Definitely curious to hear that. Other than that, guys, I want to thank you for checking out this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, an excellent weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.